Hello, everyone. Well, you already know the news that has been making the rounds, and there are different reactions to this particular news. Some reaction good, some not too good, and some just pure mischief. Kano NDC guber candidate picks Kwankwaso's son as running mate, and this is the cable reporting this. It said Aminu Gwazo, the governorship candidate of the Nigeria Democratic Congress (NDC) in Kano State, has picked Mustapha Kwankwaso as his running mate. Mustapha is the son of Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, the vice presidential candidate of the party. So you're going to have a vice presidential candidate, a running mate to the presidential ticket, and his son is also a running mate to the gubernatorial ticket in Kano State. Habibi Mohammed, spokesperson of Kwankwasia, confirmed the development in a third statement on Monday. His Excellency Aminu Abdulsalam Gwarzo unveiled Honorable Mustapha Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso as running mate for the 2027 governorship election. Saifullahi Hassan, media aide to Kwankwaso, also confirmed the development in a separate statement on his expert. Why are they calling it terse as if there's anger or whatever? It's just a statement. You can say short statement. Congratulations, he said, His Excellency Mustapha Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso as NDC deputy gubernatorial candidate. He wrote, Gwarzo and Mustapha both served in the administration of Abba Yusuf, governor of Kano, as deputy governor and commissioner for youth and sports respectively. The duo resigned from the government following the strained relationship between Kwankwaso and Yusuf. Let me just come in here before I continue. So I remember when all of that development happened, when there was a fallout between Yusuf and Kwankwaso, and then when Kwankwaso moved into ADC, there were a lot of people who were like, yeah, this is it. The father, has left, NNPP, and the son also resigned because he resigned. He was already commissioner of youth and sports in Kano State, and he resigned. And he moved on to come and do what he's doing right now to join his dad. And a lot of people, did commend him at that time. And they were poking fun and looking at it and saying that, hey, look at, in the case of Atiku, Abubakar, one of his sons, had collapsed his campaign that he had for his father, Atiku, and had moved to go and support Tinubu. And I think the other one was in another, it was a commissioner. I don't think he had resigned and all of that. But there was a lot of, people poking their fingers and what have you. Kwankwaso then joined the Nigerian Democratic Congress on May 3rd alongside Peter Obi, former governor of Anambra, from the African Democratic Congress. A month later, Gwarzo left the ADC for the Nigerian Democratic Congress and became the party's governorship candidate on May 29. So let me just remove my glasses here because I want to talk about this in a way. For me, it's not even in a way of focusing on the presidential candidate. Whatever people think about it, everybody has his own opinion to it. But I want us to look at something that is very critical. It's just like when you're doing things over the years. Yes, beyond this guy, of course, he would have had more advantage being the son of this person, but he has also, been in the business and in a while. And there's also one thing that I keep saying, that most politicians are handing over to their children. What are we doing? And we're staying back. If we continue to stay back and people feel that, oh, this thing has been done to you, you're going to move away, you get angry, you're no longer doing. I see somebody was telling to me, oh no, I'm not going to do politics. Aisha, you see now, these people don't want us there. See the way they treated you, your leave and whatever. I'm like, leave it. Okay, where, how, when? These politics that have entered, I ain't going nowhere. By the grace of God, I dare hear Gidigba. I will continue to do it. But the thing also is that you also have to be in it and continue with the thing for you also to be getting those things if you really want to have a change Nigeria the way that you want it. Staying away from politics is not going to be helpful for us as a nation. And as a people, it hasn't been, because whether you stay in politics or you don't stay in politics, whether you decide to partake in electoral process or not, if the electoral process still continues, the politics will still continue, and the decision from people who had participated in the politics will still continue to affect you. So it really doesn't make sense to not be part of it. I always tell people, nature abhors vacuum. There's nothing. If you're not there, somebody else will fill it up. There's nobody who is indispensable. There's nobody on this earth. If you're just not there, someone else fills it up. So whatever it is that you do, you have to ensure that you carve your niche and stay there and continue to do it. When I went into advocacy, it wasn't an easy thing. There were a lot of people who felt they've been there for 30 plus years, 20 years, 3 4 decades, and this is the way and manner in which they were doing it, and there's a certain hierarchy they felt people had to follow, whatever. When I came in, I didn't see any of that. For me, I just did what I want to do. And like I always tell people, I'm a very passionate person. That's why this whole hula baloo that had gone on with my senatorial ambition, I'm not even bothered about it. For me, it's to ensure that this 2027, being alive in 2026 today, to see candidates emerging, to see campaigns, being started, it's such a great privilege that I don't take for granted, because there are people who have died and I don't even know whether I'm going to see the 2027. So I'm going to put in all the work I can for Nigeria to be able to get the great, competent, amazing, patriotic candidates that they can get, who will then go into office and work for them. Politics is not something that, we just say we do and move away or get, angry or emotional about it. It's about staying on. People will try to push your buttons. People will try all manner of things. People will look for ways that they can do to ensure that you stay on the outside. You throw in the towel and say, oh, you're no longer doing it, and that you now leave it, so that they now have opportunity to widen their tentacles and do all the things that they want to do. But no, you stay on it and you continue to do it, as in, this is my face. I'm going nowhere, by the grace of God. Everything is taking shape and it's getting interesting. And one thing is for sure, especially for the gubernatorial candidates, in the coming, probably weeks or months, I really would like to go around Nigeria, meet with a lot of the candidates, for them to understand the enormity of the work that we have to do, and the reason for them to really be very strategic in putting in all of those work together, especially when it comes to, gubernatorial candidates. Because in terms of National Assembly candidates, they might just, some of them might slack, because what it is, if the party is voting one way, probably more people are going to vote one way. But with the gubernatorial candidates, it's not the same thing, because the election comes after the presidential election. If and when, by the grace of God, Mr. Peter Obi wins the 2027 election, it's going to be a whole lot easier for them. I mean, their chances rises to maybe 80 to 90%, or 90 to something percent. But if, God forbid, Mr. Peter Obi doesn't get it, then their chances drops to like less than 20%. And so there's a need more for us to lock this thing out. Everything has to be locked down to polling unit. This is not going to be a campaign of rallies, only rallies, 1 million man march, market storm, and all. This is a campaign of picking, going, when you're doing something like this, picking up and going house to house, door to door, house to house, street to street, estate to estate, whatever, getting the people, locking them down up to the polling unit. But anyway, you will hear more about that in the coming days. But thank you so much for watching. Bye.